Good day everyone, I'm Fatima. I'm here to talk about my topic about gene mutation. Have you ever wondered how mutation can affect your body? Does it give you superpowers like Superman or Hulk? Or even what causes mutations? Here's what we know. Gene mutation is a change of sequence that occurs during cell division, thus changing the information your cells need to form or function. There are many ways that the gene can change. It can either insert, delete, substitute, invert, or duplicate letters during cell divisions, which can lead to an error in the genetic instruction manual for the cell to be unreadable, thus stopping the production of protein during translation. For insertion, it is where the DNA sequence is changed by adding one or more nucleotides to the gene, causing the protein to be unreadable or non-functioning. As you can see here in the picture, it is adding nucleotide to gene, changing its form and its function. Next is deletion. It is where it changes the DNA sequence by removing one or more nucleotides in a gene, thus able to affect the functions of the affected proteins. As you can see here in the picture, we remove two sections of the nucleotide, changing its form and of course to affect its protein itself. Next is substitution. Substitution is where you replace one DNA nucleotide with another, thus affecting the production of protein. As you can see here, we changed two nucleotides, thus changing the translation of the protein. There are two types of substitution. First is missense, which results in a different amino acid being incorporated to the resulting polypeptide. Another is nonsense, where a mutation that changes an amino acid in a protein to stop a codon and synthesis of the protein at that location. Next is inversion. Inversion is where the original nucleotide will be replaced by the inversing the original sequence. As you can see here, the 3 and 4 will be 4 and 3, thus inverting the chromosomes of the genes. And lastly, duplication. Duplication occurs when one or more nucleotide is copied and then repeated to the next original DNA sequence, thus altering the function of the protein itself. As you can see here in the picture, it duplicated itself. We also understand that mutations can have effects that can vary widely from being beneficial to having no effect to having lethal consequences and every possibility in between. We also know that some mutations can have harmful effects that may cause genetic disorders or cancer. Genetic disorders is a disease that caused by a mutation in one or two genes. A human example is cystic fibrosis. A mutation in a single gene causes the body to produce thick sticky mucus that clogs the lungs and blocks ducts in digestive organs. Another is cancer, which is caused by gene mutations that allow cells with damaged DNA to divide uncontrollably, forming abnormal masses. It is generally caused by mutation in genes that regulate the cell cycle. Because of the mutations, cells with damaged DNA can divide without limits. Some mutations are essential for evolution to occur, as leads to new versions of protein that helps organisms adapt to changes in their environment. An example of this is antibiotic resistance. It is where mutation in many bacteria that allows them to survive in the process of antibiotic drugs. The mutation leads to antibiotic-resistant strains of bacteria. Another one is a unique mutation that one can help organisms to adapt. An example is found in people in small town in Italy. The mutation protects them from developing atherosclerosis, which is the dangerous buildup of fatty materials in blood vessels. Majority of mutations have neither negative nor positive effects on the organism in which they occur. These mutations are called neutral mutation. An example is heterochromia, which is a genetic mutation that only affects the eye color. It is harmless, isolated genetic mutation that affect the genes that tell your body to make, transport, and store melanin. Of course, what causes mutations? Mutation results from errors in DNA replication or from the damaging effect of mutagens such as chemicals and radiation, which react with the DNA and change the structures of individual nucleotides. Mutation is caused due to the following reasons. First, its external causes is when the DNA is exposed to certain chemicals or radiations. It causes the DNA to break down. The ultraviolet radiations cause the thymine dimers to break, resulting in mutated DNA. Next is internal causes, which most of the mutation occurs when the DNA fails to copy accurately. All this mutation leads to evolution. During cell division, the DNA makes copy of its own. Sometimes the copy of the DNA is not perfect, and the slight difference from the original DNA is called a mutation. To summarize, DNA sequences are changed and cell formation is impacted as the result of a gene mutation that occurred during mitosis or meiosis. These mutations include deletion, substitution, missense, nonsense, inversion, duplication, and insertion. The results of this mutation can be developmental abnormalities, genetic disorders, or cancer. In these examples, we can also mention cystic fibrosis and antibiotic-resistant bacteria due to mutations. There are some mutations that have no effect on living things, like in case of heterochromia. Internal factors that cause mutations are errors made by DNA replication machinery at cell division time. External factors contribute, such as exposure to certain chemicals or radiation, which breaks down DNA. Thank you for watching and see you next time.